Hello everyone and welcome back to data analysis class with Power BI. Today we will be considering working with folders. Take for instance, your data is located in a folder and within the folder you have so many worksheets, that is Excel worksheets. Now, how can you work with the different worksheets that might contain different workbooks within it in Power BI? So quickly we'll move to our Power BI. Now you click on get data, you try and scroll down, you say more. Now it's going to bring out all the list of the various data sources and where we can get data from. So on the top here you could see where it says folder. You click on folder and you click on connect. You wait for it while it does that. Okay, now you're asked to supply the path. You could do it in two forms. Either you copy the path from your local machine, or you just say browse, which is the best option. And the folder is on my desktop and the folder's name is my shop. Now I click OK. Now this is the folder's location. I click OK and you wait for it while it tries to load into the navigator. Now it's just asking us, do we want to combine, do we want to load, or do we want to transform? Well, for now we want to transform this data. So you click on transform data. This will hereby load up the Power Query editor. Earlier we have discussed the Power Query editor. Now within the Power Query editor, since we loaded a folder, not just an Excel workbook or Excel worksheet now this folder contains different entities. If you notice, we have the content, the name, the extension, the date accessed, date modified, date created, and other attributes and folder path. All these are called the metadata. Metadata are simply data that are associated with a particular folder or a particular element within the computer system. Now, as you notice, we have a place where it says content, we have a place where it says name. Now if you notice, the name column shows the two names of the Excel worksheets that we have. The extension is showing the extension type of Excel, the date accessed, and all this corresponds to the different attributes in the various columns. Now we just need that of the content, because we want the content of the table. We want the content of the Excel sheet, not the name, not the extension, not the data set, or any other detail. So we're going to right click on this. Now you see you should remove other columns. That means it leaves you with just the content table, the content column. Now on the top right, you would see where it says something like combine files. You click on it. Now it's going to open up a new query editor where it will show the various columns and the various rows and tables within the data set. Now, as you can see, we have table 1, table 2, table 26, central, east, west, and south. All these are the tables located in the worksheet, but we want to find a way where we can either load all these tables into our Power Query, or we can click here on the parameters and say transform data. Possibly we want a case to still streamline the data into different columns. That is, we don't need all the tables and all the columns that are here. Now what you can do is that maybe we need that of just the west, the south, the east, and the central. Okay, what we'll do is you could come to choose items. Now this choose item, you would want to select all, after which you select the central, the east, the south and the west, and you say okay. Once you do that, it reduces everything here to just the south, the east and the west. And if you notice, we have a duplicate of the central here. You could easily do that by dropping the row, and once you on the home tab, if you select the under the ribbon, you could see where it says remove row. Now we'll click on remove row, and we want to remove the bottommost row, so you say remove row. Then it asks how many row. We just want one from the bottom. It's going to remove just the last one, and now our data is set. But now if you notice, within the worksheet you have the different names, the data, the items, the kinds and the hidden. These are just attributes, or I call it metadata, that are associated with the particular table we have pulled out from the folder. Now take note that we don't need the name of the folder, we don't need the item, we don't need the kind, we don't need the hidden, but rather we need the tables that are associated with the various regions, which are the south, east, west and north. Now what you are going to do is you select the data column and you remove other columns. Once you do that, it removes every other column. Now you are left with just the data column, which you can easily now transform by clicking on the expand button at the top right, and you would want to make sure that you don't use this as original prefix by unchecking the column for use as original column prefix. So you click OK, and now if you notice, we have the data loaded into our Power Query. This is a combination of all the data within Power Query. But if you notice something, we have the first row to be saying column 1, column 2, column 3, of which what we want to be our first column should be the order ID, the country, the region, the sales and the profit. How can we do that? We can come to the home tab, home bar here. Once the home is selected, and we come to the transform ribbon section, where you will say you see something like use first row as headers. You click on it. Now it has made every single row the first. It has made our row 2 the headers of each of them. Now other things you would want to notice here is that we notice that since we combine different workbooks and different worksheets, you will notice that we have all of them showing the profit from the various headers of each workbook we have loaded. Now we'll have to just remove that, so you could click on region, and what we want to see is just the central, the east, the west and the south, and we'll leave out the region. Once you do that and you say okay, now you notice you have a well dynamic data. Okay, and another thing you could do is you would want to make sure that each of the data has the appropriate data type. Now this is a text, that's why you have it as ABC. Now the region 2 is a text, but here you will notice we have on the sales column, we have it as whole numbers, of which we have decimal points there. You would want to correct that, and also you would also want to correct that of the profit. Once you do this, now you can easily combine different workbook from or different Excel worksheets within a folder and combine them and use them for analysis. So you can load this into Power BI now for further analysis. So we'll click on close and apply, and it loads into Power BI. Thank you very much, and see you in the next one.